Hi, I'm Smiley. In this month of July, it's time for the art grind. Art fight! I've been going through some of my attacks for my followers. If you haven't checked already, my art fight is Smiley with a 3 and an extra Y. So, for my goal for this year's art fight is to do at least 20 attacks, under 5 hours for each character, and learning some new art skills. And also, while still maintaining school. But yeah, let's get started. The first OC I decided to attack was this beautiful, elegant doll designed by Fufu Mimo. This OC was one of the first OC that caught my attention. As I love doll-like OCs, of course I had to draw her. I started going straight into sketching with no rough sketch, since I wanted to pick up the pace and draw fast and simple. I wanted to do a simple 3/4 profile as it's one of my favorite head angle to draw. If you know, you know. Keeping these attacks a simple bust up to stay consistent. My favorite part of the design was the ruffles. I kinda have a love and hate relationship with ruffles because they are very beautiful, but sometimes they could be really hard to draw. I also love the hair design and I found it very simple and pretty. I really like the 2 big triangle shapes that represents like a bow-like figure. I found it very unique in the OC feature. When drawing the bust up, I made the head tilt so it could give that doll-like feature of the eyes looking up. I really like this simple but effective pose as it was really easy to draw, as I really want to add that doll feature in the OC. Now, placing down the flat colors. I really like how consistent and cool tone the color palettes are, especially the green and purple going really well with each other. The color palette overall gave this nice, cool, calming, and elegant vibe that really sets the mood. Then placing a new layer above and set to multiply to do the lighting. I made the lighting very simple by having the hair shadow casting down. Again, speeding through the drawing, I did simple shading as I don't want to spend too much time on this artwork. And procrastinating. Now here's the best part of my artwork process, is changing the colors. I don't mean literally changing the colors, I meant more changing the lighting. I place a new layer above and fill it with a color, like any color. And then just the layer over layer. I play around with the coloring hue and the layers to have a consistent coloring filter that sticks with the OC vibe. I still went for that green and purple coloring, with these colors working well together because of complementary colors, meaning involving with color theory. And finally rendering. Most of the time of rendering I spent on the face. As the drawing is bust up, I really had to put the effort and detail on the face as it's the main attraction. I had so much fun rendering the face as it was like doll makeup. So it felt like I was playing like a dress-up game, customizing the avatar, which I enjoyed every moment. In addition, I add more colors, reflective lighting, and darker shadows when rendering. To spice up the drawing, I gave it more contrast to use this opposite color. In this case, my drawing is mostly green, so I used a light purple to stand out. I used a lasso fill to make the lighting contrast pop up even more. Then, I erased some of the part to make it blend well together. I also colored the lip by using a multiply layer since I didn't realize their OC had dark color lips. This made the drawing have a bigger personality and really sets the vibe even more. I was literally obsessed with the lip color and the eyes so much. Final adjustments and color effect using basic coloring filters. And so far it's turning out really cool that I loved every bit so much. In this art process specifically, the sketch and base color took 50% of the time and the rest is rendering. The only reason why the rendering didn't take as long because it's basically just blending the shadows, as I already placed the light source. I also added texture around to make the OC face stand out even more. Lastly, adding sparkles and bedazzling the artwork even more with cooling filters such as anime background, blur, and RGB effect to pop out even more. This artwork took 4 hours and a half, and it was really enjoyable the whole process. And my first attack is finished. Next is this beautiful OC by Mimi Mimi. Oh my god. Mimi. Okay, wait. Last one. Mini Chew. He is very, very gorgeous. He gave this pirate theme that I just couldn't pass on. This OC, beautifully designed, just had to give him that elegancy. Again, going straight to line art, I drew a strong and powerful pose of him looking down. This angle was something that I don't really draw often because of the placement of the nose. So I thought it would be a great time to practice that head angle. One of my favorite parts is drawing the hair. I really like the line work when drawing the bangs. To put it simple, to make the line art even better, do line weight. I cannot express how much I love doing line weight. And for those who don't know, it's basically the size of the line art going from thin to thick, thick being the heavy shadow parts. If you don't really know what I mean, it's best to look it up. Now adjusting the torso in this angle, I gave this more shrug and dynamic look just to really set the mood. Drawing his face with a beautiful smug look as if he is someone that is powerful. Adjusting the nose in this angle was sorta hard. It's always a nose that trips up the face and makes it look all dysmorph and stuff. But luckily, I basically just adjust the whole drawing using my best friend. Liquify tool. Yeah, it's literally a life support. Then placing the flat colors. For each color, I use different layers so I can render on each layer. I really like the color scheme for this OC. It reminded me of Narancia from JoJo Bizarre Adventure because of the tan skin, black hair, and orange accessories. I don't know if it's just me though, which is another reason why I chose to draw this OC. So as you can see, I got really lazy. When rendering the gold metal parts, I simply just placed blotch of colors. I was way too lazy and tired to even search up a tutorial, so I mainly just winged it. But a hack that I know is color blotching and using the emboss effect to give that metal look. Yeah, it didn't turn out amazing as I thought, but at least it's something. In this artwork, I did a different process, going straight to rendering. As I placed the flat colors, I just started to render, not adding a multiplying layer for the lighting, because I just didn't want to do the lighting. So I just straight up rendering each individual parts, all at once. Rendering the skin and face is my favorite part, as it was very enjoyable. I just love rendering face overall, so you get the memo. I use a multiply layer to place down the shadows. The best part is adding the shadows on the face, because of the hair shadows casting down. This was just a chef kiss, that it always finished the drawing. That's always a key in filling your artwork. Continuing to rendering and cleaning up the artwork, but not working on it too much as I want to work on this in a short time. Then the fun part is adding the makeup. In the OC design, he had this smoky eyeshadow which made the eyes pop even more. I really want to glam him up, making him all elegant and beautiful. Emphasizing the beautiful. Lastly, adjusting the coloring. I stick with the pirate vibe, so I went for an orange, green, and blue color scheme. I added this nice yellow tint to the drawing that gave that warmth, and just adding a basic flat color for the background of light yellow just to finish it off. And there we go. Overall, I am actually really happy with this drawing. I didn't expect this beautiful results because he just looks gorgeous. I don't know how to word it, but yeah. And surprisingly, it took less than 2 hours. I drew this in one sitting, so it made it really enjoyable, quick and easy, which is why I am really proud of this drawing. last OC is this gorgeous OC by Lula Bones. As the design is very simple and pretty, I thought I'm gonna have a very easy time drawing this. Turns out, not the case. Because I wanted to be extra by drawing a cinematic composition in her in a windy atmosphere to describe her beautiful elegance I really love in a various way that gives her the best look ever. Blah, blah, blah. Just because she's a gorgeous, gracious OC that I have seen. Yep, that's basically it. And you know a drawing is going to be hard if you pull up a rough sketch. Another issue is the face. I sorta had an art block. I mean, also a art style crisis, cause it's not looking the same. Mostly because I drew these artworks 2 days straight. Well, enough of the face. Can we talk about how lovely the hair is? I really like the beauty and fancy vibe the OC design had. It really showed this old school pilot vibe that I can't really grasp on. In addition, to make the drawing stand out even more, I added this perspective by making the scarf really flowy and big, giving the perspective look of it's going towards you, for this to attract the viewer's attention. Now back to the face. I of course can't leave it, because it is the main aspect. And yeah, for me it was quite a mess. I kept on adjusting every single time. Every chance I get to look at the face, I adjust. Mainly I cut out this part because why would you want to look at that part? It's mainly just liquefying. And the reason for this was because the angle was being weird, as the head tilt was kinda upwards, making this face more up, and it was just kind of all over the place. As I mentioned that I'm doing a cinematic composition, I'll be drawing something that I don't really enjoy. Can you guess? The background. Still trying to keep these drawings fast and simple, but detailed. I only drew the flowers to really stick with their beauty. Finally pasting the flat colors. I was literally so done with the drawing that I just placed flat colors and shadows, and yeah, whatever rendering process I was doing, I don't even know myself. It also looked very muddy, but I do rely on coloring filters to save this. And boom, going straight to rendering. If you notice why the drawing is so gloomy, well, trust the process. This artwork is the definition of trust the process, as it really looks muddy and crusty right now. You can also tell that I got lazy when rendering this, as I slightly start to lose motivation in this artwork. As continued to render, I adjusted the colors to get that warm nature atmosphere. Then rendering the face, it was really messy and I can't really explain it. And also the art style is looking very different. It was looking more realistic, and I'm just going with the flow with it and hope that the adjustments and results will be looking good. Rendering the flowers, keeping it really simple again, just using airbrush and a blending brush. For when I mean a blending brush, in IbisPaint they have a feature where something like the mode could be water. Water means blending smoothly. Working harder and not smarter by duplicating the render flowers and just copy and pasting them around. Of course, I don't want to make them look the same, so I adjusted everything, going from the colors and the shape by using liquefy. This is where I continue placing down the rest of the background. Now, adding the lighting. As I mentioned, these three drawings, the rendering process is very different because it varies depending on the drawing, if that makes sense. I blend in a dramatic lighting of the light source being behind the character to make the artwork stand out even more. Picturing this, I really want to make the drawing fit into the scene as if it's coming to real life. Now, a big jump, I changed the face. Wow, it took quite a while, so I skipped it until it looked right. I kept on adjusting the eyes especially, and the mouth. The mouth is a key feature that changed the whole face. I didn't want to go in the video because I just don't even want to talk about it, going back and forth, undoing and redoing. It's mainly a struggle of trial and errors in the face process. I really played around with the face to make sure everything looks right, and is one of the best decisions of trial and error. Lastly, adding a nice outline and sparkle effect by using a strong pure white color around. Adding this to certain parts to emphasize it to stand out even more. It gave this glam effect to really show off her beauty. Playing around with the values to make sure everything's alright. Setting to grayscale to make sure that the depths are correct. And finally finished. Even though the rendering process was a roller coaster for me, going all over the place, as I didn't give up on this artwork and worked through the process, I trust myself and it turned out very beautiful. With this artwork taking around 4.5 hours, which I'm quite happy with the results. Wow, here are the first 3 attacks I've done, and more special and bigger attacks come in this year's ARFIGHT. Let me know which of these 3 artwork is your favorite. Overall, I'm really happy for my first year so far, and I really love seeing your guys' OC, so don't be surprised if I possibly attack you. But I hope you find this video enjoyable, and until next time, goobers, bye bye! And for the real ones that stay, comment attack. Literally, just attack in all caps, probably with the sword emoji, as if there's an army charging. Why? Just to show some chaos in the comments, confusing everybody. Also, here's some attack appreciation from you guys. I didn't expect so much artwork, especially from my other OCs, other than my persona. I especially love interacting with you guys in the comments. It's really heartwarming. So if you ever attack me, I will always comment on it. But thank you so much. This summer and our journey has been really fun, and love continues with some upcoming events. Bless you and have a great art fight this year. Bye!